Today we're going to talk about staying relevant, and part of that means knowing what is going on out there. There's a bunch of weird conspiracy theories going on right now, and a lot of us don't know about them. Hi, I'm Lisa Marie. Welcome back to my channel, Living My Best Life Over 50, or Living Your Best Life, whatever age you are. We discuss things having to do with aging, staying relevant, issues that come upon us as we age at different stages of our life. So if you're interested in that kind of content, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It doesn't cost you anything. All it does is let you know when my next video posts, so you'll be the first one to see it. Also, like the video and comment. Love to get your feedback. I really appreciate that. And if you enjoy the video, be sure to share it so someone else can appreciate it as well. Let's get right into it. The first conspiracy theory has to do with the earth being flat, or some people think donut shaped. I don't even know where to begin with this. I thought that had already been proven wrong way back when, but apparently there's a new group of people. There's a whole flat earth society that's out there. You'll see a lot of stuff on YouTube and different places where they actually believe the earth is flat. In fact, there's supposedly this cruise that's going to go on in 2020, and they're going to sail to prove the earth is flat. And I'm thinking maybe they'll just sail right over the edge. I mean, we know it's not flat, but I'm wondering what they think is going to happen when they get to the edge. I don't know why they think this. They've come up with some crazy reasons that don't make any sense to me. But for whatever reason, there's a group of people out there, and it's growing, that really believe the earth is flat. And even though we can prove through gravity and views from when we're in space looking back at Earth, I mean, if that isn't making it obvious, I really don't know what would. Or people who have sailed around the world, clearly they didn't fall off the edge. And then the ones who think it's shaped like a donut, so it's like a donut with a circle and a hole in the middle. That's really bizarre. I don't even understand where that even comes from. But just to keep you relevant, I want you to know this is a conspiracy theory out there. So if you hear anyone talking about it, now you are in the know, and you will feel like you can join that conversation and put your opinion out there. The next conspiracy theory that's out there has to do with the contrails you see in the sky. So if you see an airplane and you see the white kind of plumes of what I think look like kind of smoke, like white lines, those are called contrails. And people believe that the government has placed chemicals in there that we then breathe, and that they can use those chemicals to control our minds. Also to affect human reproduction and how things will go in the future, and just like they'll have control over us. My degree in college was aviation, and contrails have nothing to do with chemicals. In fact, it's more the heat from the engines and the movement through the air and interacting with the air that it's moving through that creates those. So it's really interesting that people think that every single plane out there is causing us to be controlled and that we are being poisoned. And I mean, that's a pretty crazy theory. But if you hear about the contrail conspiracy theory, now you know what it is. Another conspiracy theory is that Pluto does not exist. Well, as you know, recently they demoted it from being an actual planet, so we don't have Pluto as a planet anymore. But some people think that if we can't see it from an Earth-based observatory, that it actually doesn't exist. Well, there's been proof that it exists. Whether it's a planet or not is, up for debate between some people. But so that's one of the other theories out there, that Pluto doesn't even exist at all. I mean, not that it's just not a planet, but it's not there at all, which makes me wonder, what were people looking at all these years? Because clearly it's there. Another conspiracy theory that's out there is that when we vaccinate our children, we're actually exposing them to the risk of autism. Now, there has not ever been 100% scientific proof that that is true. And that doesn't mean that some children who were vaccinated didn't turn out to be autistic, but there are also children who weren't vaccinated that turned out to be autistic. There's a lot of beliefs that the autism factor is already in the DNA and that it has nothing to do with vaccinations. For the most part, vaccinations are very safe, and if you did a percentage study, you'd see that the actual odds of getting autism from vaccinations is incredibly rare. However, many people believe this, and they have the right to that opinion. But it is one of those theories out there that you might want to be aware of, especially if you become a grandparent and you start hearing your kids talking about, should I vaccinate or not? The recent outbreak of measles somewhere in the country has also sparked a concern for the fact that people weren't getting vaccinated. So now there are people out there that could get measles and they could die from that or have, terrible effects from having the disease. So again, just another one of those theories that's out there for us to ponder. Another conspiracy theory is that the 9/11 attacks were actually caused and planned by our own government. Now, there are people on all sides of this. There's a lot of videos about it. I'm just going to say this. I can see why people are saying this a little bit. There's a lot of things that are questionable. It's hard to wrap your head around the fact that our government could actually be part of this. So I'm not saying that's what I definitely think. I'm just saying there's some kind of compelling information out there. I'd say look at it for yourself. But if you hear anyone talking about that 9/11, that George Bush or whoever was involved at the time actually coordinated this, that's what they're talking about. And there's a lot of videos out there, so you could look into that a little further if you're interested. Remember when your cable company made you switch out because everything went digital? Well, there is a conspiracy theory about that says that there are little microphones and cameras in that cable box that's digital now, and that you're being spied on by the CIA. So careful what you say or what you wear or don't wear, because according to this conspiracy theory, they're watching you. They know everything that's going on in the room where your cable boxes are, which is your bedroom, your living room, maybe your family room. So if you think that's true, better be careful what you say. Anyway, this is just another one of those crazy theories that's out there. Nowadays, we have fluoride in our water. I know back in the day they didn't, and so a lot of people's teeth weren't as white if they grew up back in the 50s or 40s. But there's a conspiracy theory out there that says the fluoride in the water also contains chemicals that control your mind. And so that the government is trying to control your mind by putting fluoride in the water as opposed to putting fluoride in the water to help you have healthier teeth. So this is a really interesting one. I think it's way out there. Many of these are. But just so you know, there are people out there that believe that the fluoride in our water, the tap water, it actually contains a mind-controlling drug so the government can control us. This theory isn't new, but it's just been around for long enough it's worth mentioning. And that is that Elvis is still alive. There's also a theory that Jim Morrison from The Doors is still alive. A lot of people think they are in hiding, living somewhere in retirement, and that they didn't really die, they just wanted to disappear. It's amazing the details that people will come up with to try to prove these things to be true. It's kind of interesting. If you find any videos out there, if you're bored one day, it might be worth watching. But anyway, a lot of people think that the King, Elvis, is still alive and Jim Morrison is still alive. And there might be a few other celebrities out there that they think are still alive. I haven't seen Elvis lately, unless you count the impersonators in Vegas. In that case, he is all over the place. A lot of people believe that a cure for cancer and HIV/AIDS and Alzheimer's has already been found, and that in fact it's being kept from us, and that big pharma, the pharmaceutical companies, is putting a lot of money to stop us from, getting access to those cures so that they can continue to sell us drugs. Now, I'm going to tell you, I actually think there's something to this one. That would not surprise me. They make so much money. So I just thought I would share this one too. A lot of people believe that people are dying unnecessarily of diseases that there are already cures for, so that big pharma can make more money selling prescriptions for life for people that are suffering from them. Boy, if that's true, that is just a tragedy beyond anything I can comprehend. Another conspiracy theory is that when you go to the movies, they are filled with subliminal messages that you should go buy popcorn and soda and candy so that you'll go spend more money at the movies. So I don't know. I usually buy my popcorn before I actually get in the theater, so I don't think the movie has made me want it. Just going to the movies makes me want it. Wait, maybe they did put something in there subliminally, I'm not sure how to say that, subliminally, and that is why I buy the popcorn first. Dang. I think it's working. Now, this conspiracy theory is kind of the opposite of the Elvis one. There are people that truly believe that Paul McCartney of the Beatles fame is dead, and he's been dead for a while, and there's proof in some of his songs somewhere, the Beatles songs, that he already died, and it's just someone walking around looking like him. Now, I think that's ridiculous, because I went to a Paul McCartney concert several years ago, and he was alive and well, and nobody can do Paul McCartney like Paul McCartney. So that one, I feel like not even a chance. Not true at all. Now, here's another oldie but goodie, and that is the Bermuda Triangle and how planes and ships disappear. I had the pleasure of flying through the Bermuda Triangle on Friday the 13th back in 1987. And just so you know, I am still here to this day. So I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's coincidence, because some of these planes and ships have never been found. However, I'm sure there are planes and ships that have never been found in other parts of the world. But for some reason, the Bermuda Triangle is supposed to be, kind of weird and things get lost there. Don't know. Like I said, I'm still here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you now know about some conspiracy theories that are out there so that you feel like you're staying relevant and you can talk about these things. And if you're interested in learning more about them, you know what they are now, so you can look them up on Google or YouTube or whatever. The main thing is that we're in the know. That's what we need to do as we age. We need to stay relevant, stay current, and keep up with things so we can be part of the conversation. Thanks so much for joining me on Living My Best Life Over 50, your best life whatever age you are. Looking so forward to the next video. Be sure to join me. And thank you so much for watching. This is Lisa Marie, and you are a blessing to me.